All right, man. Welcome to the Homeland Show. My name is Dane. We got Rico Rolando and Liz Charles back in the building. This is episode 9. We are almost at celebrating 10. Which is
Yeah,
a big deal.
that's fire. That's crazy.
It is. It is. I think I feel good. I don't know how you guys feel. This has been this has been good to look forward to. This has been a good normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's a good level setter in the day. It's the best, phone call I've picked up on a Monday and been like, "You ready to do this tomorrow?" And I said, "Yes." So I'm glad we're doing it.
I'm still shocked that I actually said, "Yo, let's do this the next day." But I don't know what was going on in my head at that time. But I'm glad that we did, and it worked out. So we have a special guest coming in the studios very soon. Before she kicks in the door, we're going to jump into Entertainment Report with our homie Rico.
Hey. All right, guys. So we have a bunch of entertainment to cover today. But we'll start out with Amazon. So Amazon right now is going through the whole COVID-19, but in a good way for them, as their stocks have now reached a $1.1 trillion. Crazy. $1.1 trillion is crazy. But now also they're going to be hiring an additional 75,000 employees. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I mean, what do you guys think about Amazon while we're on that topic? What's your first thing that comes to mind when you think about Amazon and Jeff?
Wasn't Jeff Bezos asking the other day for people to donate? And it was like one of those things where it was like, wait, hold up. Jeff Bezos is asking people to donate with like it was at the beginning of the COVID crisis. I think it was such bad PR, they stopped. And then the other issue is you have the fact that, yes, it's great that their stock price is going up. What I'd like to know is, are their employees receiving any of that benefit, right? Do the employees get any type of options when they come in? When do those options vest? Because they need money right now. And if they're not being increased, because they're apparently not included in the stimulus plan. So like the $1,200 checks that people are getting aren't going to people who are essential workers because they're still working.
Yeah. That's a great point. Like at first I was excited for Jeff, but then I'm now starting to think like, okay, what are you doing with this $1 trillion that you just received in the stocks? Good question, man. I don't know. I think me personally, to answer that, I think Amazon, I'm proud of Jeff and where he's coming from, but I also think he's creating the next company that is comparable to Walmart and what Walmart used to do with their employees. I really don't think, from what I've heard from other employees without speaking out of context, and just, this is rumors, by the way.
Allegedly.
Speculated and allegedly.
But everyone has heard this. It's you can Google it. Go say the thing, Day, and say the truth.
Yeah, well, he doesn't treat his employees fair. There's no fair treatment at the warehouses and the whatever else you would refer to them. Everybody I speak to that used to work at Amazon has the same exact story. That's not a coincidence. So Liz brought up a good point, man. Like, what is he doing with that money? That's a great point.
Well, Jeff, will have to see. Hopefully that 1.1 trillion is going to go to someone in need and not back in your pocket to be the richest man alive. So
that's what's going to happen.
In other news, Tony Braxton and Birdman are like back together again. So before they were like on and off, allegedly, they were on and off, and now they're back on. But sources like close to them are also saying that it's all like a sham. It's just for the Hollywood face, just to make him look more masculine, and she's just doing it for the check. So what do you guys think?
Can I just say this, man? Please, please, Jerry is my friend. Jerry with the belly. He's gonna be on the show very soon. That's my boy. He knows this. But Birdman and Tony is like Liz Charles and Jerry with the belly going out, man. It just does not make sense to me. It really does not. But it's true. Why are you guys holding your mouth like that? Like it's not. And Jerry would agree. This is not a good collabo. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. Hey, this ain't a romantic flick that you watch this movie and the boy that got the unbelievable girl. Anyway, you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You carry on.
Look, I loved her last album. So if Birdman had something to do with her creating that last album, there are a couple tracks on that I was rocking to. And if he had anything to do with it, then keep that little roller coaster going for me. I love me some Tony Braxton.
How long
Yeah,
ago did
but
she release the album?
Hmm?
How long ago did she release the album?
Oh God, that album was 2 years ago.
yeah, that was
Okay.
Birdman had something to do with that.
Yeah.
'Cause it took a while for it to come out, just like Lil Wayne. So he definitely. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So we're gonna be switching topics all the way. So now they're saying in the USA that large gatherings and like sporting events could be canceled until fall of 2021. So that's like everything from basketball all the way down to Coachella and everything else. That's
So basically,
Wait,
what you said.
fall of 2021? So not spring of 2021, fall?
fall of
Oh.
2021.
So basically, a lot of married men and men that are into their women, the relationships are going to start to survive now because now they have to pay attention to the
Yeah,
women.
big, big.
Or
They're gonna be at house party.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with this, but it's a good thing. I'm not really a big sports fanatic, so it doesn't affect me.
But that's
it
gonna affect
probably
everyone in the music industry, in the basketball industry, entertainment in general, photographers, all that stuff. Everyone's gonna be affected. That's gonna be
It's true.
it probably makes sense when we think about how long it's supposed to take to get a vaccine. So that's probably what they're thinking. So they don't want to open anything until they know for sure it's going to be safe. So although I will say Governor Cuomo said yesterday in New York, he was like, I don't understand why the sports team can't just play without anyone in the bleachers because I miss watching basketball.
I don't know if
But
it would work.
they did come back and say that sporting event, like they might open up the basketball tournaments. It just all depends right now on what the virus is like. We don't know. Like it's so unpredictable. Like it could be next month or it could be fall of 2021. So
can
we'll
you
just
guys imagine a basketball game where people had to social distance and so they couldn't like pretend to foul each other? Like, like the,
Oh, that's gonna be
when they fronting like they've been fouled.
that'd be Stephon Curry all day. Steph Curry all
It could
day.
be recording on Apple iPhones or something. You never know. Live
Right.
streaming.
Yeah.
So
We
oh, go ahead,
go
sorry.
ahead, man. It's on you, Rico. Go ahead.
Okay. So speaking of Apple, Apple actually launches a new iPhone SE, and it's supposed to be $399. So supposed to be one of like the most affordable Apple iPhones that's going to be coming out very shortly. It's to do with COVID-19. They say that they're gonna try to do something more for the public and in a better price range, especially with everything that's going on. So we'll have to see if the iPhone SE actually does like a good comparison. But to me, it's like the quality is not all there. Hi, Caitlin. Caitlin actually just joined us. And
Hi.
so right now we're just doing daily topics, and then we're gonna jump right into your interview.
Okay.
But yeah, so iPhone SE it launches. What do you guys think about it? $399 is a fair price for Apple, but with the whole COVID-19, I don't know.
Man, don't ask me any
Dane,
questions about
your
Apple. Man.
thoughts?
I am not answering any questions about Apple at this moment. I am hurt. Okay, I'm going through a lot of stuff emotionally, and I just don't want to discuss it with Apple when it comes to Apple. But hey, if they want to release a product that works, then just go ahead and do that.
Dane's so mad. His
I'll get
AirPods aren't
over it.
working. He's in his feelings. I think it's great that they have a more affordable product. That's a very good thing. However, even a $399 product is still a stretch for people. I understand that in today's society of cell phones, that's how much they cost and that kind of thing. But I think in the grand scheme, that's still quite a bit of money for your budget phone. And I feel like it's a part of the fact so that they can keep raising the prices for their luxury phones. So the X was what, $1,000 last time? Like, so both of those prices, we're going to see them keep inflating. What makes me more nervous is Apple's partnership with Google as a way to help COVID by tracking people. That's a privacy concern where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. I need to see some details.
Yeah. I'm with you.
This is a whole wealth of knowledge that I did not know about before, so I'll have to take off my locations, I guess, or something.
They're not doing it yet, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, that was a good report. Is there anything else, Rico, you want to add to that?
We've got it all covered.
There is one news locally that we want to add, like where school has actually been, what's the word to use? I don't want to use the wrong word. I guess
suspended
till further notice. So as school was supposed to reopen back on April 27th, it's not until they don't know. They don't have an exact date. That's just in layman terms, they don't know when school is going to open back. So that just means that I'm going to have to duct tape my kids to the floor a little bit longer. I'm not upset at all, guys. I'm happy to homeschool my kids and work at the same time. It's a joy.
I can feel the joy emanating from you. It's
amazing.
Just filtering.
We are bonding like we have never done before. On a good note, we do have the beautiful Caitlin Tyson here in the building, man. Welcome to the Homeland show, Caitlin Tyson.
Thank you. Sorry, I don't want to just jump in y'all's conversation.
It's good. We like that. We like when you just come in the house. We're practicing proper social distancing here, and you just came in at the right time. We just wrapped up our entertainment news. Thank you so much, Rico, for providing that. Man, Caitlin, it's a pleasure. We want to first apologize about Monday. We know you were supposed to be on the show Monday, but we were Caymanians and we took a day off.
That's all right. I don't even know what day it is, if I'm being honest.
Right? It's today. Today. That's it.
It's Monday.
We couldn't tell you today was Monday? It wasn't Monday. Well, all right, man. So, man, for me, I mean, I have a lot of questions, but I definitely want to start off by saying I love your hair. Your hair looks
yes.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Those curls are luscious. I just, the naturalista in me is like, just the energy.
Yeah.
Just from the curls alone.
Because I'm so mad because I was supposed to get my hair braided like 3 weeks ago.
Didn't do it.
Girl, I got my twist in right before COVID. Like literally, it was like Friday twist, Monday shutdown.
Lucky, because I'm like, what? I don't even see in the foreseeable future when I'm gonna get this hair braided. But at least it's a lot of time for me to do a lot of wash days, a lot of deep conditioning.
Yeah, just self-care it up.
I don't understand all this talk with hair, but I just love it.
You're the luckiest one right now.
Yeah,
actually.
I know. I just like.
So is Rico.
I know.
We'll see if Rico will show his hair later after the show. But man, I guess the first question for me to ask Caitlin is like, how's life after Miss Cayman? Like, what have you been up to?
I mean, it's kind of like a whirlwind because you're just working to get this goal, right? First of all. So you're just like completely just eyes on the prize. Nothing else matters. Training. And then you win. And it's like, now life as you know it is done. You don't really belong to yourself now. You know, you're an ambassador for your entire country. So every move, every step has to be calculated. And, you know, and I held that with a lot of pride and everything. So like that year I was so busy, like any event, it was like, yes, what can I do? How can I help? How can I be of service? And so after it ended, you know, it was just like,
wow.
Like, I am tired. I was like, I actually allowed myself to be tired and to take a rest and to sleep and to say no if I wanted to say no and to not wear makeup if I don't want to wear makeup. You know, like that was the big thing too. Is like, I don't know. It's hard because there's an image, right? So and it's almost like you want to put your best foot forward. So, you know, you always want to be dressed nicely and your hair looking good and your makeup is right. But then because we're all human, that can have a little bit of an effect on your mental health. And so I almost started to like look in the mirror when I had no makeup on and be like, who the hell is that? Who's that girl? Like, I don't know who that is, you know, until I put my face on, like, okay, here we go. Here she is. Let's go. Let's slay. Let's go, you know? And before I was totally not that, because I'm like a yoga instructor. I'm an actress. So I'm used to like dressing up and whatever. We're used to going to the casting call, like completely like busted and then getting dressed there, you know? And I've always had confidence, but afterwards, like kind of rebuilding my confidence where I feel confident without makeup on and just being casual to go to the supermarket or to get gas, you know, it's like, it's not a big ordeal. That was the big thing for me. I didn't realize that being perfect for that amount of time and being judged for so long too, you know, you just feel so many eyes on you. That had like a big effect on me. But now it's good, and I'm getting back to like my writing. I'm getting back to doing yoga. I was about to get back into auditioning for acting and stuff, but
Yeah.
But COVID.
That's shut down. So it's really just been about allowing myself to kind of like find out what I like to do again and how I want to present myself as Caitlin, not with the title attached, you know, like it's okay if I cuss, it's okay if I'm kind of crazy and I like to make jokes and whatever, like it's nice to kind of like see who I am now, if that makes sense.
What was like one of the one things that you were so excited about the day after that you've given up your crown to the new Miss came on? What was your like one thing like, yes, now I can?
Well, I'm very shady, so I was like,
What is
yes.
What is that?
Oh, you know, like
we welcome petty. Just so you know, we welcome the petty.
Thank you, because I'm just like, I'm very real, I'm very upfront, and I'm an Aries too, so it's very hard for me to even hide like what I'm feeling like in my face, right? And I have like that RBF, that resting. Can we cuss here?
Yeah, absolutely.
That resting bitch face, you know. So like, I perfected that over the year of like not being able to show anything, just kind of. Like, even when someone's being totally mad, disrespectful to you, and you're just like,
that's real good.
That's nice.
Fabulous. Let your wife know I said hello. You know, it's like
resting polite face is on point, just so you know.
You got to keep filtering between a smile and a small one. So that was the big thing. Like afterwards, I was like, I'm just so excited to just like talk my shit, be annoying if I want, be crazy, and like no makeup. That was it. And sleep.
Was there any time that we like were in an event together that you ever wanted to say something real to me, like you wanted to curse me out or something?
No.
Okay, good. I just wanted to know if I was one of the targets. No. But I always wondered. I always said that to myself, like, yo, does Caitlin want to pop off right now? Because every time I saw her, she had this composure of a president, like. And not Trump, just like any other president before Trump. But you had this face on where you were like, I could say anything to you, and you would just be like, dang, that's not how we speak to each other. And you put this smile on, and I'm like, does she really want to say something else right now? So was that difficult?
Yeah, that is difficult because, you know, being an artist, being an actor, like being a writer, it's all about like what's going on inside and telling your truth, right? And so I've learned not to filter myself, because when I filter myself, that's when I get really like anxious. That's when I'm just like upset, you know, like if someone says something to you and you don't get them back right in the moment and let them know what they said to you, then you're thinking about it all day, you're thinking about it all week, you're stressed out, you know? And so like, I've just learned, I'm like right then in the moment. So it was hard to just kind of like, step back. But then it was also like, I'm in this role and I'm so appreciative of it, and there's a lot of people looking up to me. I was getting messages like every day from like young girls like, oh, you inspired me to wear my natural hair, and I never thought that my natural hair was beautiful. And you know, it's like, I don't want to like take this opportunity and then because of me, Caitlin, like my ego or whatever, you know, I'm insulted in a moment, so I'm just gonna pop off. Like, no, this is bigger than that, and I want to be a positive example. So I mean, I'm already kind of, you know, I did ballet and stuff growing up, so I already had like the posture and whatever. But really, it was just like, I take everything in stride. And if you got a crown on your head, you really can't be getting down dirty with people. It's just like, I'm not going down there.
Yeah.
I got a crown on.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
There were some times like people, it's almost like they don't see you as a person anymore because you're in this position, you know, so they think they can like pull on you and say things disrespectful to you. And I want to get into that. Just a lot of crazy stuff. And you're like, really? Like, that was the trip. Like, just so weird how people change once you're in like a different position.
When I think about acting and the craft of acting, I think about the fact that you have to kind of dig inside of yourself for that raw emotion, for that storyline that's for your character, and bring that person to life and expose that character on the outside. But it sounds to me like the world of pageants is somewhat the opposite of that, right? There's this, what you're supposed to be on the outside. It's like the bad director thing where it's like, just smile, be happy, you know, and so for me, I wonder about your decision as an actor to decide to go into the world of pageants when we kind of, you know, have this understanding of the constricting nature of pageants and the freedom that comes with acting and performing.
I thought I was going to slip into it like easy because I was an actor. But I'm not playing a character. That was the thing that was like, my mind was kind of weirded out because it's like, I am Caitlin, like that is me. And so I have to find the same way that you would approach an acting job where like you get a character and you have to like, even if the script doesn't say it, you have to give yourself a backstory.
Yeah.
You know, you got to do all of that work, period work and whatever. Where did they come from? What's my last name? What's my middle name? Even if it's not provided. It kind of felt like, okay, but I am Caitlin. And how I would react to this is like this, you know, but it's like, I am Caitlin, Miss Cayman Islands 2018. That's how I had to keep saying it, like right now.
So then why did you want to go into the pageant? What, like, how did you think it was going to push you forward with like your dreams for acting?
Well, I wanted to go into it because I had been working in New York for a little while. I had lived there for like 3.5 years after school. And it was just so much like hustle. And I missed home, to be honest. And I kind of wanted to take a little bit of a break from that energy. But then I still like to work. Like I'm a workaholic. And I'm like, what can I do? And I'm like, and my mom has been telling me to do Miss Cayman since I was like 17. I was like, okay, girl, this is the last year for it. I think, how old was I? 24. I was like, this is the last year for it. If I don't do it now, I don't know if I'm going to do it. And so I was like, okay, at least this is like a role that I can like audition for while I'm in Cayman. And then I got it. So that was like the cherry on top. I got it. But it was just so much that I didn't realize would come with it. Because again, like if I'm doing a character for a year, then I can take her off at the end of the day. And it was hard to take all of that off, you know, like you're just sitting in bed and you're just remembering all like the rude things people said to you and how you like you're kind of like getting pulled all over the place and you know all these looks that you're getting and messages you got to delete and all this stuff. And that was hard to separate from who I am. But I really just wanted to come back home. I wanted to do something in the meantime. I wanted to give back because that New York energy is so like me, you know, I just wanted to be of service in some way. And so that's really why I did it. Obviously being able to go to Miss Universe on a universal stage and stuff, but like that, I took that opportunity and I rocked the hell out of it as much as I could because they are not looking for the little Caribbean countries. They really are not. And if y'all want tea on that, I can give you some tea on that. But I was like, I'm not about to waste this opportunity. And I got seen. I was in Vogue. I was in Cosmopolitan. I was like, yes, because I am an actor at the end of the day. And after a year, this is going to be done. And I got to be ready to get back to work.
Yeah, man. I definitely want to hear the tea about. I don't know. Because I always do it. I see it all the time. Like, there's no way you're gonna bypass that beautiful Caribbean girl. Every year they do it. It's almost like the same people get picked. Like they're on the payroll, and we can name them out. We can name them out. We can name all the countries now, and people will be like, "Oh yeah, that is true. Philippines. They always pick Philippines, or you know, this country." And then they throw one Caribbean country in, which is Jamaica. And all love to Jamaica, man. But you know why you're doing that. So I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah. Do you guys want to hear the tea? Just a little bit of tea?
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right. And is there a bell or something you can like bing if I'm going on too long? But
you just like that's enough.
Yeah. So it was just like already like my experience acting on set really served me when I went over there, because immediately I realized, oh, this isn't like a competition pageant like our national pageants. This is a production. It's a show. And so like even like the ADs and everyone backstage, they would always call it the live telecast. They never called it the pageant. They never called it the competition. They always said the live show, live broadcast, live telecast. And I was like, I'm a words person, so I'm like, that's very telling what this is, you know? And so it kind of felt like I got there, and with a national pageant, you're just trying to stand out as much as possible, you know, because you never know who the judges are and all this stuff. Like, you're just trying to get noticed. But here it's like they already knew who they were looking for. So from the first day, like we had orientation for like a few days. You have to get all the stuff on the sign-up sheet done. You know, you have to get your sash. You have to get your first Sherry Hill outfit for the opening. And so I'm C, right? K-Man. I should be called up in order to get my outfit. I should get one of the first picks. I'm like, yes, because my last name's Tyson, so I'm just getting called last. But I'm like, I'm Cayman Islands here, so I'm going to get called first. No. So it's like we get there and they're already like, okay, so USA, Philippines, South Africa, Vietnam, can you guys come over here? And I'm like, wait, what order are they going in right now?
Wow.
What order? Okay, so maybe they're starting from the back. Okay, no problem. Okay, can we get Canada? Can we get Venezuela? Can we get, I'm like, wait. What's going on, you know? And so they would constantly be pulling the girls off to the side to do like PR and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so I was casted as featured background extra without my knowing.
Yeah.
That's not the role I applied for.
Wow.
Right? And so I immediately, like literally, it was day one, I called my mom. She was pissed. But I called my mom and I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to have fun. She's like, you don't have fun? Because she's very competitive. She's like, you don't have fun. You get seen. I'm like, you're right. So that's why I just kept like, okay, they're not going to call me. They're not going to look for me. I'm just going to put myself in it and not try to, you know, have that like, you know, like, I'm just like, ugh, I'm so pissed off at y'all right now. I don't even want to deal with this. Like, that's not going to serve me. Right? Especially, I don't want to cut off your nose to spite your face kind of thing. And so many girls like around me though, which was really disheartening, is like you could tell they were like really taking it hard. Like they didn't understand what it was. And I'm like, you gotta know how much money is in this. This is a business. Like, you know, the Super Bowl spots for the commercials, you know how much money companies pay? It's the same thing, Miss Universe. Everyone is watching. So, and if you think about franchise fees for each country, some countries are paying $90,000 in franchise fees. Others are paying $10,000 or $7,000. So if you accumulate that over how many years Miss Universe has been going on, you can't help but to have connections and ties to different countries. They'd be like, we've given you millions of dollars at this point. When are you going to put our girl in top 10? Like, that's just honest, you know? So I would be like, I would see them taking 3 girls, and I would tell my roommate, Belize. I'm like, Belize, you see them going outside? I'm going outside.
Yo.
And she's like, I'm not going outside. Forget it. I was like, okay, bye. And I would walk out. I'm like, hey, Dan, what are we doing? And they'd always be like, oh, Cayman. We're talking about the environment right now. Would you like to maybe be? I was like, of course, I could talk about that. I could talk about the fact that I'm, you know, with the Captain Planet Foundation, and right now we're trying to get more of a plastic-free Cayman. You know, I'm like, I have all the points. If you ask any of those girls in there, we all want to do this stuff. We all want to talk about it. We all have platforms, you know? So I was literally rushing. Every time I saw them with a camera taking girls, I was like, hey, Anne, what you doing? What's going on? I was like throwing myself into everything. And that's literally how I got like so much all over the place.
I love it.
Love it.
You just taught us something in spilling that tea, man. I didn't like there was negative involved, but then I just love how you overcame it. Like that's beautiful. That's a great story.
And to be honest, that's really how you have to go about the entertainment business as a whole. Like if you see the camera running one way and you don't follow that camera, then you're gonna be not seen at all. And that type of hunger is what all of us should really be wanting to have within our soul. To not be feeling like, oh well, that girl, she's so big, I'm not going to really go after that. No, you still went after that regardless of anything that was going on. And I think that's why you really took the crown for Miss Cayman 2018. And you really showed yourself and your whole island as a whole. Like, you can't stop me, even if you wanted to. I'm still going to be ready.
And that's where I'm thankful for like training in New York, because I just think it's one of those places where it's like, no matter what, like you're gonna learn the hard way so many times, and you're gonna have to like, okay, like the wheels of my suitcase broke on the way to a gig. Am I gonna go home, or am I gonna put this on my back and run? Like I'm gonna put it on my back.
Wow.
True story, you know. And it's like you only get that kind of experience in a high pressure place like that. Because I'm like, they can replace me in 3 seconds, so I gotta get there. It's not gonna be them hurting, it's gonna be me hurting. So let me make sure to get there. And so I wasn't shy at all. Like I was like, I'm throwing myself. I did not get up at 4 a.m. and do my makeup and steam my outfit and all that to not be seen.
Yeah.
They
Like
better not.
girls. Yeah, like
They better not.
90 girls. 90 girls. Like, of course it's gonna be hard. I understand it's hard for them to give us all equal opportunities too, right? But I was just like, oh no, if I see something, I'm not sitting here with y'all. Like I'm following the camera follows the action. So even like being an extra in New York, and I see the cameraman setting up their shot, and I see they're placing the leads, I'm right here.
That is such like an extras 101 thing that like
I'm like, you guys are talking
it's
back.
always the case. You'd be like, how did that person they in the background of every shot?
Bet. And giving full face and and then they're like, okay, her, so back to your ones, extras to your ones. And I'm like, my one is right behind the lead, right by the camera. Like, y'all can be mad if you want, but I'm gonna do what I have to do.
Hustling.
So, yeah, it's like if someone's coming to do production stills of your play or something, and in every shot you're moving, then you're not gonna have anything to put on your resume, you're not gonna have anything to put on your website. So if you see they're right there and clicking, you're like, and then continue, like pause for the camera. So all of that served me going over there, but they really were not looking for us, and they made it quite obvious. And there's a lot of other things, but I won't get into that, like just like little hints of, you know, discrimination and stuff, like giving us gifts and it's like bleaching creams and giving us flat irons.
Sorry, no. Hold up. I know Dane heard it and he was like, wait a minute. They included bleaching creams in your gift
because
bag?
it's like, there's like this gift from a brand in Thailand. You know, in Asia, there's like skin bleaching is a big thing too.
Yes.
And
but
so they
in an international organization that is Miss Universe, where you know that you're going to have several Black women contestants, they included bleaching creams.
Yeah. So I'm a big skincare buff too. So as soon as they gave us that, first of all, I'm like, I'm not using anything new on my skin while I'm here. You know, I'm taking that all home. Like, I'm not using anything new to break me out for preliminaries. That's what y'all trying to do. You're trying to mess us up. Trying to make me look crazy. But then I looked at it and I'm like,
wow.
Hydroquinone.
Caitlin.
I'm like, lightening, brightening. Okay, brightening sunscreen, brightening moisturizer, lightening. I was like, hold up.
All right. Let's go through this bag. So bleaching cream, a flat iron, right?
Yes. So then
what else they got that's like just for white people? Continue.
I mean, those were
that's it. Okay, so they just wanted us to know that we needed to have straight hair and light skin.
Yeah,
which has always been the messaging anyway, except for right now when all of the women happen to be Black with natural hair. But
at the same time, because they're going to give us this year, and then they're going to be like, all right, get over it for the next 10.
Right, because it may be like the little like token year that they've given everyone so that they can be like, oh, let's bring back in the Black countries. You think they're hip to it.
Why all at once? Not saying I have a problem, because there have been many women of color that should have won several years in a row, but why all at once? Like, you're not going to trick me. Like,
yeah.
But that was the thing. Like, Chi was the sponsor, you know, Chi Hair Care, and they gave us this big, huge bag, flat iron, like anti-frizz serums and hairsprays and like, what's that? Dry shampoo and stuff. Just like nothing for us, nothing catered to us.
Dry shampoo.
Yeah.
On Black hair. That's just cool. Continue.
But yeah, man. I mean, everything.
Go ahead, Dane.
No, everything she just told us is exactly like what we assume, but just bring it out in the light now. We all know. I mean, everybody knows it, and we watch the show. We know it's a major production that's being put on. We know there's something behind it. She just answered everything. But what I do want to ask, because we are running low on time right now, is one of the questions I really want to ask, because you said that you went through a lot in our last episode. We spoke about this, like how difficult it was for me, and I think Rico was saying the same thing too. And Liz was being the big sister when she was like, "You can't make everything get to us." But us being in the creative industry, and we both work in entertainment, me and Rico and Liz also, we hear a lot of stuff about ourselves that we always battle within our heads, because we're like, that's just not me. And I want to ask you, like, what's one of those things you heard? And I would like everybody to share this too, by the way. Like, what's one of those things that you heard about yourself and that you got really upset with, because that's just not you?
I'm gonna let y'all take it first. Let me think.
Yeah, man. I mean, you want to answer,
Rico,
Liz?
you want to go first? I can go. Okay, cool. I can go. I mean, there are a couple of things. There have been people who have called me at this name and that name who have never met me, who have met me, but like who don't know me. Like, you don't know me. You've never really taken the time to have a conversation with me. So you don't actually, like, you legitimately don't know my life when you're calling me this name and that name. And it's so wrong. It's hilarious to me. Anyway, recently, a funnier one was I had to rep a film at a film festival. It was a film that I produced, and there was an actor there who I'd made friends with throughout the time there, and there was just like something about him that was a little hotep-y, like I realized in some of our conversations. Like, for those of you who don't know what a hotep is, let me just tell you real quick. Just picture the man who's like, I'm an emperor, you my queen, but also you need to serve me, and your place is like in this area, and like, and so they want to talk about like back to Africa and all of this, that, and the other, but like, women, sit down. So anyway, the film features a vulnerable man, and the film, my creative partner, we tend to make projects that have, kind of strong women and allow men to be vulnerable. So it's both. We allow typically what you don't see in society. You don't get to often see women being strong, and you don't often provide the space for men to be vulnerable. And so that was our film. And he got in his feelings because I unfollowed him on Instagram. And the only reason I unfollowed him on Instagram, this is going to sound petty.
Wow.
Whatever. Sometimes I like to make sure I'm being very like conscious about what I let into my system and what I let into like my mind and stuff like that. And I didn't find the content that he was posting to be inspirational. I found it to be demotivating more than anything else. And I just didn't want that energy on my feed. And so I unfollowed him. He figured out that I unfollowed him. I don't know why he's checking his followers so closely, and went on a rant on my Instagram about how I'm a man hater who only makes films about women beating up on men, and how I hate it's so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. Like, the writer director of the film is a Black man. Like, I have supported Black men in a myriad of ways, and our films are supporting Black men and allowing them to be vulnerable, like, and allowing them that freedom. But you so hotep-y, you can't see it, so I had to move on from that troll.
That's really good.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't think it was anything that was said directly about me. I mean, because again, like, I feel the same way. It's just like, if you don't know me, if you've never taken any effort to get to know me, then like, I don't really let that get to me in a social situation or in a larger situation of like people commenting or whatever. It's like, I don't really care. Like, I don't talk to that person. You actually don't know me, so it's fine. It's fine. And whoever's going to be taking your word for it, they also are fine over there. Like, if you guys just want to talk about someone, that's cool. Just go do that, right? So I don't let that get to me, really. But I think, I mean, there was a lot of stuff, just like, I guess, Cayman, like we haven't had many brown and darker skin queens. I think we've had maybe 3, including myself. Correct me if I'm wrong. And so, especially one coming in like natural, it was probably just like, you know, because Cayman, a lot of people in Cayman still don't know that we're black. Oh, sorry.
Oh, Caitlin.
Yeah, so it was a lot of comments of just like, why is her hair like that? She's not going to get anywhere with that hair and whatever. But of course, when Cosmopolitan was like the best hairstyles in Miss Universe and I was there, then everyone was liking it. That's how it is. You know, a hater is still a fan is how I feel.
Wow.
Haters make you famous.
Buy the merch, buy the tickets. A hater is a fan.
Wow.
Great. Your passion, great. Love it. And if you got haters, you're doing something right. That's always how I feel as well. But what really, really say that something that affected me was the silence from my community when I needed support. Because you would not believe the amount, like I'm still getting fan mail from France and like all over the place, like from Peru and Colombia and all these places are like, hey man, you're our top 20. We can't wait to see you. Like everything, like every day, like it was my international fans that like kept me going, like that were in my DMs, in my comments, like sharing my stuff. And Cayman was just like silent. And I know we're not like used to, you know, promoting each other, first of all, culturally, but then I see people sharing a lot of filth. I see them sharing a lot of memes. I see people sharing garbage, you know, that stuff to pass the time. So I'm like, you can't share something positive? Okay. I understand it takes a little bit more effort to like, you know, look at something and listen and read, you know, whatever. But it was just me, especially because like when I was over there, they didn't even call me by my name. They called me Cayman Islands. Every day I'm Cayman Islands. Like I'm not Caitlin anymore. So for me to not have like that support from the Cayman Islands is like,
yeah.
You guys, do you know what I'm over here doing? I'm not over here like as myself, you know, I'm here representing us and like trying to put us on because like I want to stand next to South Africa and all these places and show them that we're just as dynamic and eloquent. We have something to say, you know, we're confident. I want to show just how big we are as a people. So that was really it, like the silence that happens. And what's funny is that I receive more support from Cayman, and this is still true, when I'm in New York or when I'm in Paris. When I'm away, that's when I receive more support. It's almost like if you're here or representing, then it's too close to home. I don't know. I don't understand it, but that would be mine.
Well said, man. Well said. I don't know if you want to go, Rico.
Yeah, I think also to just talk back on what you were saying, I think like I'm still trying to figure that out too. Like why not support while there's still like hair in front of your face doing the same things that other people all around the world in the US and the UK are doing just as great as us. So that's something that I always tend to like go back and forth with, like why can we not be like Jamaica when an artist releases a song called Breadfruit and everybody goes all about it, or like just different stuff, and they're just super supportive. That's like one of the things that I can't really like wrap my head around. But I think like in terms of like hate and comments, I think over the weekend I actually got to see that and like really see who's doing a lot of supporting and who's really like just being there just to be catty or just to be negative towards what you're doing. And once I saw that from a particular Cayman artist that, you know, like they were talking, saying on Trailer Fest that, oh, I didn't get picked because I didn't buy my way to the top, or he's awkward, or all kind of different stuff. They were like calling me potatoes emojis all inside the thing. It was crazy. It was all kind of like bear shit. But it's just really, I like what she says, haters are motivators, and like if they're hating on you for something, it's something that they want that they can't get and you have it already. So it's just all about how you really see it, and it's always so good to stay woke. And I'm glad that Caitlyn was woke while she went to like Miss Universe and was really aware of everything that was going on. Because to me, the only two in the past like 15 years of Miss Cayman has been eye catching is Caitlyn and Monique Brooks. Like those are the two that I think that are you know.
No, I was correcting myself as 4 Black women. Sorry.
Oh, okay. and that to me is like they're the ones that are gonna be hungry for it. Like they're not gonna sit back and be like, oh well, I'll let the director of Miss K-Man go out there and try to tell them to come back and talk to me. Like, no, you can't really be like that. You have to be full force like a lion. As small as you are, you have to feel like you're a lion. So
yeah, man. And just to wrap it up really quick, I mean, I want to thank Caitlin for coming on, but just mine really quick, and then we're going to wrap things up. And thank you so much for being a part of the home. Hopefully, get you back on again, Caitlin.
Yeah, for sure. This is fun.
Yeah, man. I think I just discovered recently, I always knew something was going on and something was up. People would always kind of express it a little bit without saying too much, not being real and saying it. But, you know, I grew up as a shy kid, but there was this book that I read when I was in primary school or middle school, I think, where it was like, you know, do something that scares you every day. That's what it said in the book. And that's why I took on, like, you know, flying. I did that for a while and then wanted to go into music. And the reason I wanted to get into music and entertainment and more specifically radio was because I was scared. I didn't like to communicate with people, didn't like to stand in front of an audience. I didn't think I could do it. And I did it. So what people don't understand is that when I go out, I'm really shy. I'm a really shy person. It takes a lot for me to come up to you and say anything to you at all, because I battled a lot in doing that. So when you see me come up and smile, that was a challenge. That was a huge, that's pretty much, it feels like somebody holding a gun to my head and telling me to do something, or else you're going to be shot. So to hear when people like, and it was just somebody in the station that I work with right now came to me and they were sitting down and it's like, man, you know, I've gotten to know you over the last 3 years and you're really nice. You know, I used to think you were a prick. Like when I listen to you on radio and
all the time.
And when I see you out, because it's worse when I see you out, you only want to hang out with your friends and you go in a DJ booth and you don't come out and say anything to nobody and you don't do anything. You just, when you're ready to leave, you just go home. And there's a reason behind that. I'm shy. And my friends are my friends. They're like family members. I speak to them because they're a lot like me. Everybody I hang out with, and this is a fact, they're the same. They're introverts just like me. They don't talk. They're very shy. I can name them all out, and they're the same way. And that's why we all get along. So, I mean, that was hurtful to hear because you know you're not this person, and you know the type of heart that you have. And then to hear people call you this, it hurts, man. You know it goes on a lot, and you want to explain to the whole world, hey, I'm just shy, man. I wish I could communicate with you, but I find it hard to do. I'm not that person. Like I see it with you, Caitlin. Like you're very like, I see you out and I admire it about you. Like one of those things I wish I had to just walk up to anyone and just talk. But I can't. Like it takes a lot. Even though you see me on stage hosting or hear me on the radio, it really does take a lot for me to just walk up and have a one-on-one conversation with someone.
I have crazy social anxiety.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But no one would tell. Like no one would know.
See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. Yeah,
like, you know, quarantine, like everyone's like, you know, oh man, what am I gonna do at home? Like I'm always home. I love being home. Like I'm good. Like This is great, you know, but literally like it's so hard for me. But like I practice with networking, you know, like I practice even like when I started going out to like bars and clubs, just going up to people and talking, and if it flops, it's like okay, whatever, on to the next, whatever, and kind of like putting on your Sasha Fierce thing, like, oh yeah, this is cool. I do this all the time, like whatever. And also like taking things that people that really know you and love you and care about you, like what they say about you is so different sometimes about the way we perceive ourselves. Because I perceive myself as being like socially awkward and, you know, like I'm not funny. And it's like, no, you're funny. You're a great speaker and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, so that's what I'm going to replay in my head when my other voice starts saying like, oh, don't do it. You're going to sound dumb. You're going to whatever. It's like, no, you're a great speaker. You're really funny. Go. Get the mic, do it, like every time. And like anytime I go to perform, I could run off like backstage. That moment I could always run off. But it's like I love that. Like I lean into the fear every time. Like if I'm afraid of it, like then I gotta do it. Like I have to do it. So I don't want to live like with regrets, you know. And Rico, to that potato guy, that's your biggest fan, by the way.
I know.
That is your biggest fan.
After that, I made like a potato emoji on I put like a filter on my face and I was talking.
I saw that.
You should sell a t-shirt with a potato on it. Like I'm telling you that he would be the one wearing it.
It's coming. Trust me. But
that's your biggest fan.
Yeah, straight up. But what I think too is like on that term of white people think that way of like, oh, he's stuck up because he won't talk to us. I think it's because they're so used to hearing us or seeing us that they've already connected that bond that they sort of think like, okay, well, I really know this person and we don't know them. For example, for you, Dean, you're on the radio every single day. Everyone is hearing your voice in the morning. Or Caitlin, you're on Instagram every like a post every single day or something. They're catching you, they're seeing what you're doing or what we're doing. I think like why when we walk into a room, people expect you to be like, oh hi,
Yeah.
and not just go and take your order for food and leave. Like you have to be like that's one of the things that I was so like pissed off about when I first started music. I was like, I really have to like, hello, hey, yes, thank you. You like my music? Oh, that's better. And like you get so used to doing that, but now it's just accustomed to like people just coming up to you, hi, oh cool, and you've like mentally already prepared yourself for what you're going to say back. But then it's also like kind of like when do you break that? Like as especially as an artist, like I feel like now artists are like is like a lifetime of being Miss K-Man in a way, in a sense of like you always have to put your best foot forward. You always have to make sure that everyone's seeing you in the right light. And I don't know, it's just to me, I think white people think that, and why we have to act that way is because they're so used to like being around us, but we're not really used to like actually being with them.
Well,
But
I
our
mean,
voice is heard.
you're like putting yourself out there. We're putting ourselves out there for our career, right? For our art, for our passion, like, because it's not art until you share it. So you can have it in your shelf, but it's not art until other people can experience it. So we're putting ourselves out there. So that means that we're on people's brain, like whether they want to or not. They see it, they scroll, they hear you, whatever. And so they're forming their own opinions. And sometimes, depending on how much they're being exposed to, like these opinions can get really strong, where people come up to you like your best friends, or they're looking at you like you did something wrong to them, you've never met them before in your life, or they think you should know their name. Oh my gosh. Like,
Dane, you haven't said last thoughts yet, but I can assume we're around that time period.
Yeah, we killed it.
Yeah.
We literally, everything that you guys said were gems. You dropped bombs and everything was worthwhile. I thought people are going to get a lot out of this.
Yeah.
I said this a lot about interviews, like it's my favorite, but this is definitely, this has been the realest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so thank you.
There's one thing I want to say though. I want to say one thing really quickly and respond to people like that. I think we have to have boundaries with ourselves and our own energy, because what that person has done has projected a sense of entitlement to your time and to your emotions. And they are not entitled to your time. They're not entitled to your emotions. This is someone you know in a professional setting. They're not entitled to you in a cordial or friendship setting. So you don't need to take in their, oh, I'm not a nice person, oh, I'm like, I don't want them to feel that way about me, because the truth is they haven't earned the right to make that assessment of you.
You can appreciate the work and respect the person. And for Rico, like what I've come out of all of this knowing is that I don't want my persona to ever be a restriction for me. I don't want to be restricted by my persona. Just want to tell you how much that meant, blah, 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 and walk away. It's not like I don't like that person anymore. So setting up those boundaries, like you said, like it's so important.
Yeah.
And it's okay to do, even in a small community.
Boom. Love it, guys. Thank you so much. This has been a great interview. Caitlin Tyson, we got Liz Charles, Rico Rolando, and I was just filming this because this is epic. And we're gonna have it up very soon for everybody to watch. Don't forget to subscribe, love us, like us, share the message with your friends. Let them know the Homeland Daily is on every day except for Saturday and Sunday. And yeah, Caitlin, we hope we have you back on very soon again, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you guys. This was really fun.